It's a new day. It's your time to shine. It's time to take your career into your own hands. You've saved money your whole life. Great. Now it's time to put all your eggs into one basket and take a huge gamble on your future. A gamble that comes with a 100% chance of success in some cases. What are we talking about? We're talking about becoming a Fazbear Entertainment franchisee. That's right, restaurant ownership and case. This concludes the amount of help we're legally obligated to provide. Remember, you are now the face of the newly rebranded Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Wear that smile with pride and let's make some money. Fazbear Entertainment is not responsible for disappearance, death, or dismemberment.
Well, it's Halloween, and it's time for this year's big horror game review. However, this one's going to be more of a lore of the game instead of a review, as we delve into the complete lore of Five Nights at Freddy's. Before we get into that, let's talk about how this came to be and who created it. Five Nights at Freddy's creator is Scott Cawthon. However, FNAF wasn't the first game he created. He's been creating games since he was a kid. However, the one game that got him on the map was a little game called Chipper and Sons Lumber Co. A cute little game where you play as a beaver. However, it has a few creepy moments in the game. So it is said that after some people said it had creepy moments, he decided to actually create a creepy horror game, and thus the Five Nights at Freddy's was created. However, we need to talk about one of the rumors surrounding the game itself, and that is the rumor that people are thinking is based on a game that's something that happened in the real world at a Chuck E. Cheese. The story goes like this. Back in 1993, Nathan Dunlap brings a gun to the location in Colorado and shoots and kills 4 employees and injures a 5th one. What was his reasoning for this? Well, he was fired. After fleeing with some cash and some items, he was later caught and sentenced to 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of attempted murder. He was later sentenced to death by lethal injection on May 17, 1996. However, it was communicated to life without parole since Colorado had abolished the death penalty. So does Scott Cawthon base FNAF on this event? Well, the answer is yes. And once we get into the lore of the franchise, you can see how they are very similar. So let's begin. Back in the 70s, 2 friends who were geniuses, William Afton and Henry Emily, became business partners and formed Fazbear Entertainment. And with that, they opened Fredbear's Family Diner, a pizza place that served to kids' parties so they could cash in on it. However, they also created 2 animatronic characters, Fredbear and Spring Bonnie. What made these 2 unique was the way they were created. You see, William and Henry invented something called the Spring Lock suit that could serve 2 purposes. One was the way staff could wear it as a costume, and the other was when no one was on it, they could put it on stage as an animatronic. However, it had one fatal flaw, and that was if any kind of moisture got into them, the suit would lock up, and anyone inside the suit would be impaled and crushed to death when the springs would lock up. However, William Afton had a bit of a dark side, and went a bit nuts, which brings us to the first tragic event, the missing children incident. One day at Fredbear's, there was a birthday party that 5 children was part of it, and then all of a sudden they went missing. The truth was that William put on the Spring Bonnie suit, lured the 5 kids to a room, and murdered them one by one, stuffing their corpses into spare suits. However, there was a 6th child who was outside in the rain and crying since he was scared of Fredbear. While the poor child was outside, a golden bunny shows up behind him, hands him a cupcake, which made the child feel better. But what the poor child didn't know was that the cupcake was poisoned, and as soon as he ate it, he got sick and died. This gives us the crying child. Fredbear keeps thriving through all this, and William gets the idea to open up a sister location, calling it Circus Baby's Pizza World. This place had animatronics that did almost everything. They handed out balloons, ice cream, candy, and entertained all at the same time. Well, his wife always liked to bring his kids, Michael, Evan, and Elizabeth, to see the genius that their father is. However, what they didn't know was that William didn't actually create circus babies to be like Fredbear's, but more to murder kids instead. So William tells Elizabeth to stay away from any electronics, but she is so impressed by them that she ignores his warnings, goes up to the main character, which is Circus Baby, and however it has no clue that she is William's daughter, and it just refers to his programming to kill any kid near it, and grabs and kills her. This caused William to close up Circus Babies the same night it actually opened to avoid any more of his children dying at the hands of his creation. Fredbear continues to thrive as a family business, and with that the funds, Henry decides to open up a new location, which brings us to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, an even bigger place than Fredbear's, and this time with 4 new animatronic spring suits: Freddy Fazbear, Chica the Chicken, Bonnie the Bunny, and Foxy the Pirate Fox. This business takes off and makes the two business partners even more cash. However, William was not done with his child-killing ways, and went to do the same thing he did at Fredbear's. He lured 5 more kids to the back of the restaurant and killed them and stuffed their bodies in their suits, which gives us another missing child incident. Again, due to lack of evidence, William was found not guilty, but it put Freddy's in lockdown until the investigation was over. Meanwhile, William's youngest son, Evan, kept on sneaking to Fredbear's on his own, even after William told him not to. So to try to stop this, he put Evan in a simulation to scare him away from Fredbear's once and for all, and he enlisted the help of his oldest son, Michael. However, Michael, being a teenager, likes to pull pranks on Evan all the time, so he kept on scaring him until one day on Evan's birthday, as a joke, Michael and a few of his buddies took him to Fredbear's, but they again took it too far, and put Evan's head into the mouth of Fredbear animatronic, and Evan's tears caused the animatronic to malfunction and bite down on Evan's head, thus putting him in a coma, and then he dies after that. This was the bite of 83. This caused the eventual closure of Fredbear's, and after losing 2 children to his creations, he soon delved into madness and soon left Fazbear Entertainment. This left poor Henry to try to fix the issues with everything, and since he was not the creator of the Springlock suits, he hired a whole new team to try to fix the things. He also scrapped the old animatronics and created a whole new type called toy animatronics as well. He created a whole new character called Balloon Boy. Each of them had an extra feature that they all had facial recognition on them for the main purpose of finding William and keeping him from coming in, and he created a special animatronic, the Puppet, whose purpose was to protect Henry's daughter, Charlie. William was not himself anymore, and after the death of Evan, he went back to the old location to destroy everything, but upon doing so, he heard of Henry's new location and went to go see it. However, security noticed his arrival and stopped him from entering. Henry came out and told him he had to leave since he knew that William was the reason for all the other locations closing down and the missing children. This angered William even more, and it was one rainy night that he exacted his revenge outside Freddy's Jr.'s, knowing that Puppet always came out from a box. He waited till it was held load by a careless kid who put a present on it, and then lured Charlie, Henry's daughter, to a dark alley, killed her. Sensing that something was wrong, Puppet breaks free from his box and heads over to see what is going on, where he finds Charlie dead and stays there, but due to the rain, Puppet breaks down right next to her in the alley. However, her spirit lived on as her soul was soon inside the puppet. Charlie, inside Puppet, decides to reanimate the souls of the kids William entered before. However, instead of reanimating the original animatronics, they took over the toy ones. During the day, customers never noticed it since they acted like normal animatronics. However, at night is when they sought to kill William for killing them, and to see if he was around. They would make their way to the office to see if William was there. However, during the day, unruly kids would constantly rip up Mango, and soon Mango was not having it, and decided to bite the kid, tearing him up, thus causing the bite of 87. This caused Henry to scrap the toy animatronics except for the puppet. William tries to gain forgiveness with his wife, but ultimately ends up murdering her, and then goes on to create 3 new animatronics: Playtime Foxy, Playtime Freddy, and one that is totally new, but Laura. With these and Circus Baby, he and his team went on to open up a whole new location. However, it was not going to be another pizza place. Instead, he opened up a rental place calling it Circus Baby's Entertainment and Rental. Due to both of the creators reusing the old endoskeletons of the original animatronics, they were still possessed by the children of William's first victims. Vowing to end things once and for all, William goes back to the old location to destroy all the animatronics. However, the spirits of the old victims knew it was him, and he got spooked so bad that he hid in the old spring Bonnie suit. But the location it was stored in had a massive leaky roof, and when water hit the suit, it locked up, thus killing William slowly. Henry knew that William was in the suit, and as William begs Henry to save him, William looks at him and says, "There is a special place in hell for people like you." And Junior's eventually closes, and William was left to die there as well. After William's disappearance, Michael Afton decides to get a job at his dad's company, where he can get up close and personal with the animatronics. He talked to Circus Baby and learned everything, and then she led him to the scooping room. This is where the animatronics get their endoskeleton removed and whatever else is in them, and made sure he saw Ballora. The animatronic his mom was put in after William killed her, and watched as Ballora was scooped. However, Michael, not knowing that Circus Baby and the other animatronics wanted to escape, and also not knowing that if they tried to in their current state they would be recognized immediately, so they decided to join together in one form called Enid, and scoop Michael out of his skin and escape, and began their search to take out William. Over time, some of the animatronics that made up Enid had taken over Michael's body and got fed up with Circus Baby and forced her out, to which they pushed her out of Michael. She vows to come back and be bigger and stronger, thus giving us Scrap Baby. As Michael's body slowly decomposes, the rest of Enid is forced out as well, and goes into the sewers to find spare parts, and thus becomes Molten Freddy. This ends part 1 of FNAF Lore. Stay tuned tomorrow for part 2 of FNAF Lore. Until then, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you're notified of when part 2 comes out. I'm Grendel Nightshade saying stay scary and stay tuned for part 2. Hi and welcome to part 2 of the lore of Five Nights at Freddy's. Just a brief note before we begin, this video will have subtitles for the hearing impaired. Fast forward about 30 years in the future, and a new horror attraction is born called Fazbear's Fright. And the people running the attraction went into the old locations and found some old audio tapes. They also found Scrap Trap, aka William Afton, in his big Bonnie suit, and added them to their attraction. Michael, hearing that his dad is still alive and part of the Fazbear's Fright, goes to the new attraction with the intention of burning it down to the ground, thus freeing the spirits within the suits, except for Puppet and Golden Freddy, who are Charlie, Emily, and Evan Afton, who stayed to make sure that William as Scrapchip dies once and for all. Henry, in an effort to finally put an end to everything once and for all, opens up a new place called Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Place. He hires a manager to run all the business stuff, but Henry has an ulterior motive for the place, and that is to lure all the remaining animatronics, Michael, Lefty, Molten Freddy, William, back for a big event on Saturday. He lets them all roam free and fight each other, and then he interrupts the battle over the intercom to make a grand speech, and then burns the place down and everything inside, animatronics and manager, to the ground. The fire releases all the spirits except for Evan as Golden Freddy. Henry, after some time and thought, decides to finally let everything go. After the death of both William and Henry, Fazbear Entertainment was taken over by a new company to make something new. They decided to hire an indie game developer to create a series of games to try and cover up all the dark marks from the past, and part of that team was Vanessa. So when programming the VR game known as Help Wanted, they're using some of the old code from the animatronics. However, part of that code was the coding for William Afton, and when they put it in the game, the anomaly appears. However, the anomaly takes a liking to Jeremy, another programmer for the game. Being overwhelmed by the anomaly and no one believing him, he decides to commit suicide. Vanessa overhears upper management talking about Jeremy's eventual end, and they think it'll ruin the company's image in an upcoming court case, and she tries to confront them, to which they tell her to take over where Jeremy left off. Vanessa tries to record all the logs of the anomaly within the game, unknowingly allowing Glitchtrap, aka William Afton, to attach himself to some of the undeleted files. She tries to break them up, but instead he invades her mind, keeping himself alive there. Vanessa starts to get two separate personalities and creates a bunny suit to wear when Glitchtrap comes out. She is reluctant to follow what he wants her to do to try to resurrect Scraptrap, aka William Afton, and shortly after that whole new pizza place is opened up called Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizza Plex, and she becomes a security guard. Then he tries to find more ways to resurrect Scraptrap, all the while taking over where William left off in the murdering of children. She visits a therapist to fix everything. However, each therapist she sees gets threatening messages from someone manipulating her, and Vanny stops each therapist once they get too close by murdering them. Now we are reaching the last game in this series, but let's recap. So far we have talked about the events in the past FNAF games including Help Wanted, and now we are getting to the events in Security Breach. But during one of Freddy's performances, someone tries to infect the code and cause him to shut down. When he awakens, Gregory, whoever that is inside of him, and through Security Breach you defeat all the animatronics to create a better Freddy. But despite all the effort they put in, Freddy still can't leave once the doors reopen in the morning. So they travel the underground to one of the old locations where the original souls were set free. Freddy relates to Gregory that Vanny has brought him here before, and that she's fooled him into thinking he's not really him. And through the power of the charging station, reconstruct Scraptrap's body and transfer William's data to Glitchtrap. During the mall's construction, Fazbear Entertainment was throwing all of the old animatronics underground who witnessed the rebirth of Scraptrap, aka William Afton. The new animatronics take down Scraptrap, allowing Freddy and Gregory to escape and the Spears to rest again. We've now went over the entire lore of Five Nights at Freddy's, from FNAF 1 to Security Breach. But if you really want to play the games in chronological order, here are the games in that order. You start with FNAF 4, then 2, followed by Sister Location, then FNAF 1, then 3, then Pizzeria Simulator, followed by Help Wanted, and then Security Breach. Well, this ends another Halloween season, and that means I will be leaving you until next year. So I'm Grendel Nightshade saying... Wait, Grendel, I have an announcement. I've been wanting to do a series of horror game reviews, both new and old, and I've decided to let Grendel host these, so now you're going to be a year-round on the channel. Well, with that all being said, I just want to say that after this video, Paul and I will be taking a week-long break for his birthday, and then we'll be picking up right back up where we left off. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you're notified when a new video is up on the channel. I'm Grendel Nightshade for Paul and Diablo and Pete saying peace out and stay scary.